Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of News Where's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's go ahead and get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures up 0.13%, Dow futures down 0.04%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.59%. Stocks are mixed this morning as traders weigh inflation and the tax impact of the stimulus. Treasury yields are rising with commodities this morning before President Joe Biden unveils an economic plan, including a $2.25 trillion infrastructure boost. The dollar has dropped, though still heading for its best quarter in a year. In regards to the coronavirus vaccine, the U.S. vaccine rollout continues to surpass targets. Treasury yields have risen for the fourth time in 5 days, trading near a 14-month high. Elsewhere in markets, gold has steadied for a 2-day slump but remained below $17,000 per troy ounce. WTI crude oil slipped before the April 1st OPEC meeting. Apple has posted gains in pre-market trade, and NASDAQ futures expiring in June have risen this morning, both a signal that technology stocks may recover from a 2-day sell-off. Stocks at the center of the Archegos crisis also rallied as fallout from the fund's liquidation appeared to be contained. ADR of Chinese companies and U.S. media firms like Viacom, CBS, and Discovery advanced. And over in Europe, stocks rose after Asia's equity benchmark posted a second-day decline. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
You know, Shane, I've been watching the S&Ps all morning long. They've essentially been unchanged all morning. They were slightly lower overnight, and then all of a sudden this morning they went flat. And now they've actually turned positive, which is a good sign. You know, the market really is weighing the impact of Biden's infrastructure package against tax hikes. The economic benefit to the infrastructure package is huge, but it comes at a cost. You're going to see multiple economic reports coming out today, including the ADP National Employment Report for March, U.S. pending home sales for February, and of course the EIA Weekly Petroleum Status Report for crude oil stockpiles. You know, speaking of oil, yesterday was the big day because the Joint Technical Committee was meeting, and the group actually revised downward their projections for oil demand this year by 0.3 million barrels. So this is a pessimistic outlook, which makes it really seem like, the production quotas that is expected that are in place right now will be left in place tomorrow when the official announcement comes out of the OPEC meeting. One thing to note, today is the last day of the first quarter. So, you're going to see prices kind of tick up in that last, 15 minutes of trading. But that's what I'm seeing so far this morning, Shane.
Well, moving into earnings to watch, it looks like Lululemon did pretty well. Why don't you tell us about it, Bill?
This is interesting because if you remember, we've been talking about this for a week now. I remember last Friday was my stock of the day when it was at 302. And, you're looking at Lululemon now, and the stock has really jumped. It's trading up to, 313, it traded as high as, it's 313.50. I thought I saw it at 317 earlier. So, yeah, Lululemon, they came in with a 9-cent beat on higher revenue and they raised guidance. So Lululemon was a good call. Chewy, let's talk Chewy.com, CHWI, Chicken Henry William Yellow. They delivered a 15-cent beat on higher revenue, plus they raised guidance. Here's another one, PVH Corp. This is the owner of Tommy Hilfiger. These guys missed by 4 cents on lower revenue. If you recall yesterday, we talked about this one, and we said, we didn't like the comments that the management gave in their last quarter earnings report. And again, they're still negative on the outlook for the near term. So, I'm not surprised that PVH, delivered a miss this morning. You look at the stock and it's actually flat right now at $100 a share. Walgreens Boots Alliance, they delivered a beat by 29 cents, but it was done on lower revenue. So you got to be cautious on there. We'll see what happens later this morning when there's some real activity in the stock for Walgreens Boots Alliance.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
Let's talk Micron. It's their ticker MU. They're going to be releasing this afternoon, and they're set for a 5.1% move. Earnings estimate there are 94 cents. Dave and Buster's. This is Play, PLAY, Paul, Larry, Apple, Yellow. They're priced for an 8.6% move when they release this afternoon. Now they're scheduled to miss by $1.25. Guess, that's his ticker GES, Grace Edward Sam. They're priced for a 14.5% move when they release this afternoon, and the estimated EPS is 56 cents here. Play is kind of interesting because, like in the last EPS report, the company said that they expect revenue of 98 to 102 million. And, this figure is really based on the first 9 weeks of the quarter. And they're expecting more stores to be open and, to follow historical seasonal patterns. The company expects to have more than 100 stores open up by mid-January, they said. They came out and they said, hey, sales trends are improving. Now, the weekly call volumes are positive, but at this price, it just seems a little expensive to me because, you still had lockdowns in January in two of their top markets, which is New York and California. And the stock's trading at its pre-pandemic levels right now. So I'm not quite sold on Play for a big earnings beat here.
Moving into economic reports, Bill, what are we seeing as far as reports go today?
8:15, we have the ADP employment report. 9:45, we have the Chicago PMI report. At 10 a.m., pending home sales. And at 10:30, we get the oil stockpiles report from the EIA. Now, there's two Fed people speaking today. There's Atlanta Fed Bank President Raphael Bostic is speaking at 10:45 a.m. And at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Dallas Fed Bank President Robert Kaplan will be giving an interview.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Syndax Pharmaceuticals, ticker SNDX. The company announced that the FDA has granted orphan drug designation to its treatment for chronic graft versus host disease. In other news, Pfizer, ticker PFE, and BioNTech, ticker BNTX, plan to submit their COVID-19 vaccine data in adolescents to the FDA as a proposed amendment to its emergency use authorization in the coming weeks. The phase 3 trial results, which were just made known today, showed 100% effectiveness. In other news, International Seaways, ticker INSW, and Diamond S Shipping, ticker DSSI, have agreed to merge in a stock-for-stock transaction. The enterprise value for the combined company is about $2 million. International Seaways is up 3.43% in pre-market, while Diamond Shipping is up 2.4%. In other news, BlackRock, ticker BLK, has canceled the business registration of its private fund unit in China as it looks to launch a mutual fund business in the country. BlackRock's share price was down 1.13% yesterday. In other news, Brightsphere, ticker BSIG, has just sold its majority shares of Landmark to Ares, ticker ARES, for a total of $690 million in cash. Brightsphere's share price is up 8.87% in pre-market. News on Apple, ticker AAPL. Apple's invested in the private music artist service company United Masters, having fundraised $50 million for the company. One on Royal Caribbean, ticker RCL. Royal Caribbean announced that Anthem of the Seas, which will sail from Southampton, England, will begin cruises as soon as this July. Royal Caribbean share price is up 0.18% in pre-market. Lastly for me, Hitachi is set to acquire private company Global Logic for a total enterprise value of $9.5 billion. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Shane, I use my alerts very specifically. I use it to catch breaking news and for research. I have my alerts broken down into, categories for sector-based alerts as well as event-based alerts. I have a sector-based alert for the FANG sector. This morning, I'm seeing Amazon on there, ticker AMZN. As they own a big portion of Deliverzoo, and they were one of the major backers of this British food delivery company that went public today. In their market debut, the stock is down, significantly. It's down like $30. So, that's not good because Amazon does own a big chunk of Deliveroo. Also with Amazon, this morning at 8:30, the U.S. National Labor Relations Board is going to continue sifting through the ballots in a closed hearing. Now, this process, is about the Alabama unionization vote, and it's probably going to last a couple of days, this ballot counting, and it's likely to result in legal challenges once it's done. Facebook, I see that the Brazilian Central Bank on Tuesday cleared the way for Facebook's WhatsApp messaging service to allow users to send each other funds via Visa and MasterCard networks. And I see on Apple, there's a positive note from UBS this morning saying that the Apple car is worth probably $14 to the share price. My Dow Jones 30 alert, Boeing, Alaska Air is going to be buying an additional 23 737-9 MAX aircrafts from them. And this is on Salesforce, which is ticker CRM. There's an article out there this morning saying that office space subleases are flooding the market. Why? Because the work from home trend is going to continue, which is good news for Salesforce as they develop a very significant presence as the leader in work from home. And Visa, one of its major competitors is obviously MasterCard. And the British regulators have come out and said that MasterCard has broken the law for cartel behavior when it started offering prepaid cards to vulnerable members of society. Option headlines, something to take a look at. DocuSign, it's ticker DOCU. 30-day option implied volatility is at 47 compared to the 52-week range of 45 to 128. CrowdStrike, ticker CRWD. Charlie, Richard, William, David. Their 30-day option implied volatility is 53. Now, the 52-week range here is 47 to 109. And PINs, this is Pinterest. The 30-day option implied volatility is at 63. 52-week range is 54 to 110. In terms of like some FDA news, ticker OPT, Oscar Paul Tom, they obtained an FDA waiver in marketing applications for their drug OPT 302. Let's take a look at HGEN, Happy Grace, Edward Nancy. They priced $5 million common share price offering at $18.50. So the stock has a little ways to go before it hits $18.50, but it is trading lower this morning. And BMTX, Boy Nancy Tom X-Ray, they're testing their new COVID-19 vaccine that's going to be requiring less storage issues along with Pfizer. A couple of events of note. Magellan Health, that's ticker MGLN. Michael Grace, Larry Nancy, they're having a shareholders meeting today. And McCormick, ticker MKC, Michael Kilo Charlie, they're also having their annual shareholders meeting today.
Moving into our trade talk picks for today, I'm picking CarMax, ticker KMX. This is an earnings play. It's got a $1.26 estimated EPS coming into earnings tomorrow morning before the market. So this is one I think we can expect to go up into the close today, but also tomorrow morning before the market opens. So I'm looking at both of these times to see some gains. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going to go with CrowdStrike. That's ticker CRWD. The low implied volatility situation is a big positive to me. I look at the news flow, it's all been positive as of late, and there is a need for their services out there. So I look at the stock and I'm really going to try and get in under the $177 level this morning, but I am going with CrowdStrike today.
Moving into what's hot off the press. So this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak that will be moving the stocks today. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Looking at our newsware alerts, seeing the headlines that are streaming in. Bill, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Let's talk about Goldman Sachs, ticker GS. Goldman's nearing an offering of Bitcoin to its wealth management clients.
One on Delcath Systems, ticker DCTH. They've erased gains and they're now actually down 32% after announcing their positive preliminary results on their phase 3.
Let's talk about shares of Cubic. This is ticker CUB, Charlie Underboy. Cubic accepts a revised proposal from Ventrust Evergreen Cost at $75 per share. Eldos, LDOS, Larry, David, Oscar, Sam Lidos was awarded $149.2 million contract for engineering and management services.
Mitsubishi UFJ, ticker MUFG, says losses from U.S. clients will be $270 million.
There's a Cisco conference going on right now, and the Morgan Stanley analyst is out there saying increased cloud adoption drives enterprise hybrid networks architecture. She's reiterating her overrating and $54 price target.
Bosch Health, ticker BHC, has agreed to sell Amount Pharmaceuticals for a total gross consideration of $740 million.
Let's talk about Chevron for a second. That's Charlie Victor X-ray. The SEC is cited against Chevron on their climate change shareholder vote.
Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing this morning.
Same here. So that'll do it for what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind you can receive the same breaking stories we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial. It will definitely up your trading game. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Tuesday. I had DraftKings, ticker DKNG, which opened at $59.21 and went up as high as $61.43 before the close for a 3.74% gain. So pretty good move for us. How'd yours do, Bill?
I did Microsoft yesterday. Now, we knew Microsoft was down $2 at the open, and it was going to move a little lower. But as I said, I expected Microsoft to move higher into the afternoon. So buying at the opening price was never going to be an option here. But the stock did open up at 233.52. And then during the morning, it hit a low of 231.10. In the afternoon, the stock rose to 232.22. I was expecting a bigger jump than that, honestly. I was expecting it to turn positive on the day. It closed at 231.85. I made money on this one. It's even up today, but it was a good play for me. But you really had to play this one cautiously. But it was okay. It was good.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.